Hi everybody. Okay, I'm back and I was able to fix my problem. Take a look at this. Is the second chart I was telling you about. The commutative property allows us to switch the order. So now I have the negative first. So negative 3 times 3 and I end up with negative 9. And take a look at the pattern for this. Negative 6, negative 3, and then 0. So I'm going down the number line, times 3 times 2 times 1 times 0. And then a negative times a negative, I end up with a positive 3, and then a positive 6, and then a positive 9. So we have a negative times a negative ends up being a positive as it follows the pattern. Okay? So here are your rules. If you have the same sign, the numbers have the same sign, you get a positive answer. So positive times positive or negative times negative. If they have a different sign, you get a negative answer. So if it can be in either order, negative times positive or positive times negative. Any sign times 0 is always 0. And any number divided by 0 is undefined. We're going to talk about that in just a second. Multiplying and dividing integers must have the same rules. So again, same sign positive, different sign negative. And the reason for that is because they're inverses of each other. Take a look at this example on the bottom. 4 times negative 2 gives you a negative 8. A positive times a negative is a negative. If I'm dividing, if I work my way backwards, negative 8 divided by negative 2 then has to give me a positive 4 working backwards. So a negative divided by a negative would then give me the positive 4 back. So because they're inverses of each other, I end up having to have the same rules. So here's a color-coded chart for you to refer to for the rules for multiplication, and the division ones have the same rules. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about undefined. You cannot divide a number by 0. It doesn't make any sense. 0 groups of 6. Take a look over here. What is 6 divided by 0? You can't do it. 0 groups of 6 doesn't make any sense. And so because it doesn't make any sense, we don't have an answer for it. So we say that any number divided by 0 is undefined. So that's something to keep in mind. You can, however, do 0 divided by a number. Take a look at this. For any non-zero number, any number on the bottom, you can do 0 divided by that number and get 0. You just can't have the 0 in the denominator over here. Okay, so let's look at division. We have the same sign here, negative 125 divided by 5. And if you need to work that out, 5 goes into 12 2 times. Okay, so we end up with 25, which is choice C. Okay, and there's the answer there. A negative divided by a negative gives you a positive answer, so positive 25. Okay, now this is something else to keep in mind. If you have a negative fraction, the negative can be put in with the numerator or it can be put in with the denominator. So the negative sign out front makes the whole fraction negative, and you can either put the negative with the numerator or the denominator. Usually we put it with the numerator, like this first example here. You'll see that. Mostly like this. Okay. All right, so here's one more. I'm missing the denominator, and so we have 8 divided by some number has to give us negative 2. First, I would start with the numbers. 8 divided by what gives you 2? 8 divided by 4 gives you 2, but we need a negative 2. And you know that a positive divided by a negative has to give you a negative answer. So 8 divided by negative 4 has to give you a negative 2. So we're looking at choice B. Okay, so that's about it. Let's review our, let's go back and review our rules. Okay, um, if we have the same sign, and this is for multiplying and dividing, if they have the same sign, you get a positive. Okay, negative times a negative, positive times a positive. If they have a different sign, you get a negative answer. Any number, any sign number times 0 is 0, and any number divided by 0 is undefined. Okay, so there you have it. Try the few examples I give you, and we'll meet back in enrichment. Thanks for watching, guys.